Today on Earth Focus, a new threat for rhinos. With poaching already at critical levels, South African rhinos may lose one of their last refuges to coal mining. Jeff Barbee reports.
"500 rhinos have been killed for their horn in South Africa so far this year. What is incredible is that there were any left to kill at all. The white rhino was only described to science in 1820 and thought to be extinct by 1880. In those days, hunters from all over the world had flocked to Africa, killing more than 200,000 of these majestic beasts. Dr. Ian Player, the man credited with bringing back the white rhino from the brink of extinction in the 1950s, still tells the story of how the last little population was discovered in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa.
In 1893, a man called Sir Henry McCullum was hunting for black rhino at the junction of the White and the Hluhluwe-iMfolozi River. And he shot 2 rhino. But when he got up to them, to his astonishment, they were not black rhino, they were white rhino. By now thought to be extinct.
This last refuge of the rhino was to become Africa's first national park, and now the shining beacon of endangered species conservation for people around the world.
So there suddenly they find that this animal thought to be extinct is still around. And when the word got out, there was a huge outcry, and the governor was pressured into proclaiming what was really the first game reserves in Africa.
When Dr. Player first started working as a ranger at the park in 1953, he led the first aerial count of rhino. There were 432 white rhino left, all of them here. With so few gathered in just one place where they could be wiped out by disease or poaching, Dr. Player and the park team started Operation Rhino. The plan was to breed rhino in the park and reintroduce the species into other protected areas in Africa. The lessons learned from 50 years of Operation Rhino are used today to protect endangered species around the world.
Deep down in the hearts of all people, there is an affinity with the wild animal. And had it not been there, it would not have been possible to do the things that we did.
From the success of Operation Rhino, there are now roughly 20,000 white rhino left in Africa, and all of them can be traced back to those original 432 at the national park here.
As a trace officer, I would say I'm an ambassador of the wilderness because I share it with the other people. I show them, how they can be in nature and how they can connect with themselves in nature.
Visitors walk in the park with rangers like Mbato, who follow in Dr. Player's legacy of wilderness education and protection. Now, that legacy is under fire from many fronts. Poaching has become a crisis. The number of rhino killed for their horn has gone from 13 in 2007 to over 1,000 in 2013 alone. But a new danger to the park may be even more disastrous than the widespread poaching problem in the country. A new open-cast coal mine on the southern border of the park threatens this, Africa's most important rhino breeding ground. Park officials here worry that this new danger could be a deep, dark hole for rhino conservation because the mine will pollute the air with dangerous gases like toluene and benzene and blow toxic coal dust over this wilderness area. The mine will also discharge acid mine water laced with sulfuric acid and radioactive byproducts into the Mfolozi River, where the park's animals and the livestock of the surrounding community all drink.
And when we come here to kind of like to unwind and experience the wild. And now there is a mine happening on the edge of the wilderness, and it's diluting every experience that the people are getting here.
If hundreds of rhinos are killed for their horn, the population can be reestablished as long as enough are saved. But if the park is polluted with toxic mine waste, this last refuge of the rhino will be lost forever.
Where our concern lies is with respect to dust, because there's no analysis of the dust in terms of the toxic components within that dust, given the coal mining and the blasting and that sort of thing. Now, you can feel this wind. This wind is blowing across us right into the game reserve. So they mine here, this southeasterly wind will carry the dust, and the fallout would be in the park, in the wilderness area.
If it goes ahead, the coal mine will be right against the boundary fence of the park. This community of 1,200 people will be forcibly relocated off the land. Another coal mine opened in 2007, 10 kilometers away from the village, and people here already fall sick from breathing the toxic dust.
Angadwa nizobona lapha ngaphesheya la khona imayini ekhona nizokwazi ukubona le mayini ma idubula lapha uthulu uzofika la siphila nabantu abanezifuba engasile bese kuyabakhathaza lokho.
This is an aerial view of the older mine, which the Induna's nephew says is already causing their cattle to die.
We are also feeling the consequences of them allowing that mine there. We've already witnessed some of our cows dying. In the past year, I'm talking about from June last year till now, I myself have lost about 18 of them.
To have so many fall ill and die means that the rhinos and other animals next door in the park who drink the same water are also in danger. In rural Africa, cows are the real wealth, like living, walking bank accounts. To pay for a child's education, Ndemande would sell a few cows, but now that is out of the question. This is a small community right on the edge of Mfolozi Park, and the community experiences a lot of benefits from the park itself, and they are very concerned about what's going to happen if the mine goes in just next to the park and right within their community.
We are right next to the game reserve, and by us allowing the mine to take over this land there, and then it will mean those animals in the game reserve will end up suffering because of the pollution.
The dangers of having a mine right on the border of the park is not lost to Roger Porter. He's the former head of conservation and planning at the park's administration. He agrees with Ndemande that the mine could not only threaten the animals, but could make poaching worse.
The whole security issue has not been addressed. Mines tend to be a magnet, drawing in people from surrounding areas because of the potential opportunity of jobs. Universally, it's well known that levels of crime increase around mines. So poaching is a crime.
According to Dr. Player, if the mine and the poaching are not stopped, the whole web of life that has been protected here for over a century will fail.
There's no doubt in my mind that if that mine went ahead, it would destroy the wilderness.
In a press statement, Ibutu Cole, who declined to comment on this story, touted jobs as a major benefit to the local economy when the mine comes in. But according to the community, the mine has not consulted them or even told them where they will be forced to relocate to. For more than 100 years, the Hluhluwe-iMfolozi Park has been a sanctuary for rhinos and many other endangered animals. It is a place that inspires visitors, communities, and conservationists all over the world. To lose this area in a coal mining operation is unacceptable to Dr. Player.
The people were saying it's impossible. You can't defeat these big mining companies. And we said, no, you can. But you've got to know that what you are doing is absolutely right. If you know that, then the rest is strategy and tactics.
This is Jeffrey Barbee, reporting from the Hluhluwe-iMfolozi Park in South Africa for Link TV.
Continuous airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.